Well, the literature about this institution is way out there,
It's way down
far and wide, and everybody can access it.
Can access it.
Those who have studied from here and those who have not studied from here.
Oh,
but,
that is good.
But well, first things first, how does it feel to be at the helm of this institution as its head teacher for you?
Oh, it is a cocktail.
Cocktail of?
It is a cocktail of a very concentrated mix. First and foremost, you feel you're a national figure competing with a national school. That at any one time, in any event, your school must feature.
But well, also in the same note, what does it take to become a head teacher of Nyakasura School? Who becomes the head teacher of Nyakasura School? Is it a normal transfer that anybody can come here, or a normal promotion that anybody can come here?
Me, I think the procedure is clear. All head teachers are equally trained, but they go through a rigorous training process and promotion procedure. And when you qualify, and there is a vacancy in Nyakasura School, they post you there. The first place to report to is the foundation body.
What's the foundation board of Nyakasura?
And the foundation board of Nyakasura School is Church of Uganda. Therefore, the province of the Church of Uganda, in the Directorate of Education, they have to know who is going to Nyakasura School. Does the church have a say over who becomes the teacher of this institution? Then, indirectly, what I'm telling you, the province has a say. Then, the diocese where the school lies, in this case, the diocese of Rwenzori, has to receive you first. And then they go through a few things with you. A background check, your curriculum vitae, your academic qualification, and then they reply the ministry that the person who has been posted here
is the right person to be.
The right person. And the Education Act, this mandate of the Church of Uganda, is not derived by them. It's derived by the Constitution of Uganda. And as stated in the Education Act 2008, that no head teacher or teacher will be posted in a church-founded institution without consulting the foundation body. And the foundation body on the board of the governors constitutes 5 members out of about 6 constituencies which constitute the board. Because the alumni send 1 person, the parents send 2 people, the local council 3 sends 1, the local council 5 sends 1, the teachers send 2.
Just their word.
But the foundation 5. Therefore, the constitution gives the foundation body a lot of weight in the governance of the institution.
If you can enlighten us more, the school is started by an retired army officer from Scotland. How does the church come in to become the foundation body? You'd expect Nyakasura to be the same school as the entire school in terms of administration.
Oh no! You know, when this missionary office army man comes, he comes as a Christian first and foremost. Because you see the church, he said, this chapel here.
We are seated in front of the chapel.
We are just seated in front of the chapel. And he puts it in the center of the school. Then 2, he comes and finds a king, King Kasagama, Chebambe, the 6th by then. And King Kasagama at that time, he was trying to promote 3 things.
He had been baptized and wedded.
He had been baptized and wedded. He had written
to Damal actually.
Yes, he had written to England requesting the whites to come and establish 2 schools. Chebambe girls for the clerks and wives of chiefs, and also when Komwiswa comes to request him to establish a similar school like King's College Vudo, founded by the Church of Uganda of Namirembe in the same kingdom of his. Then he says, fine. And he's the one who had allocated Kabarole Hill, who had established the church at Kabarole Hill. That's what does he do? He allocates, Chebambe had started earlier, remember, in the 2010. Chebambe was there behind. Established by the king on the hill of the church. Then he says, let Nyakasura school, a boys' school, be just adjacent
At Kabarole.
at Kabarole Primary School, so that they are just separated by what? By the boundary. You see the concept of the church
I get.
on the same hill of the church, and he's promoting the church education of the men and the church education of the women. But along the way, in the movement of Kalwe, he establishes that this in the long run is going to be a squeezed place, and boys may grow and cross over to the girls. He asks the king.
Would that have been a worry if boys cross over?
Then he asks the king. Actually, if people had foreseen what we are having here now as a mixed school, would be a mixed school at Chebambe. The hill, the Kabarole primary and the secondary would have merged into a mixed school. Now, finally, he asks the king, this place seems to be small. Can you show me more other places? He shows him Ibale. Ibale is also Church of Uganda founded school. Ibale Secondary School, because that was also church land. He also shows him this area. This was also Omukama land. Then he shows him also at the current place where Mountains of the Moon University is.
Saka here.
Saka. Though Saka was typically more of government at that time. Therefore, finally, Omukama Kalwe chooses to settle at Nyakasura. And he informs the king that I have chosen
Nyakasura school.
Nyakasura school. And the first thing he sets an Anglican chapel.
Before any other thing.
Before any other thing. Therefore, there is no way you can remove the king
From the church.
And
The school.
From the church.
So that is how, but when he's going back to especially at the time of his death, whom does he leave the church to? Does he leave the church in the hands of government or the church or the kingdom?
He leaves the school already taken over by the church, because the first board of governors, the first chairperson board of governors is Canon Apollo Kivebulaya.
Okay.
And Canon Apollo Kivebulaya is the founder, is named after Canon Apollo Cross.
And Kanapal was part of Nyakasura.
And Canon Apollo was part of Nyakasura.
Okay. Abol, we shall go delve right into the issues. You've been here for 4 years.
Yes.
Could you give us a picture of what you inherited at that time? What it looked like, the school you inherited, in what state was it in?
This is a 98-year-old school.
2 years to celebrate.
2 years to celebrate
100
100 years. And my 4 years are counted fine nominally, 4 years. But remember, I came in the middle of June. That was
17th June.
17th June
2020.
2020. That was in the middle of COVID. I stretched through the whole of COVID. 2021, there was no education. It was COVID completely. I was just in the office doing a little more of systems analysis. And then my first students to run the whole school is 2022. Therefore, when I am analyzing my stay in the school, I really consider 2022 to date.
My question should be clear.
But what I found,
Oh yeah, that's why.
I found my predecessors had also done a great work. There are many things that I can allude to.
Okay.
First and foremost, I find this Tamaka Road, I found it.
This one coming from the highway.
Right from the highway. And this was a great effort of my predecessor, Headmaster Frank Manyindo Apuli, in collaboration with the alumni and the government to have that maram dusty path tarmacked through. That was a milestone indeed. I found a school with a population, with a disciplined population of around 880 students, and that was averagely good. Though God has increased it, the population now we are close to 1,200. I find this school with a stable staff. I find it very active in debate.
How were the staff in terms of cooperation? And
I think the staff were largely cooperative and united. They were largely
that's so good.
they were largely
good
united and cooperative. We had brought them up well, and they were united.
What of academic performance?
Academic performance of Nyakasura School has been a challenge.
How did you find it?
Because when I came here, I found in 2018, the school had got 27 first grades. 2018.
That's 2018.
And 2019, the school had got 25 first grades.
That's 2019.
That is 2019. Now, 2020, the year that we struggled in and they joined in the middle.
School had been closed for a couple of weeks.
The school had been closed for some months. Then when the students came in, we struggled with them. We got 37 first grades.
That's terrific.
And there was a lot of intervention. Because at that time, I agreed with my teachers. And I said, these students need a mindset change. Now, the first thing we do, let us bring national teachers and integrate with you. Therefore, I moved out.
There was an issue of automatic promotion. How did it affect you?
Yes, whereas holding that constant as a government policy, still we said this should not affect a certain percentage of students to achieve a certain thing. They need to see a rigorous mindset with the new headmaster. Therefore, I moved to King's College Budo, got some team leaders, went to Ndeje, went to Iganga SS in Eastern Uganda, went to Kira College Butiki, went to Namagunga, went to Gayaza, went to Mengo, went to Seta, went to Mbara High School, went to...
Those are the schools Nyakasura has to compete with.
Yes, those are the schools has to compete with. Went to Namiryango, picking specific teachers with unique specialties to come and reinforce my teachers. And when students saw this kind of interplay of the teachers from all those schools coming in, coming out, coming in, coming out, reinforcing, and whenever they would be in, all my teachers of that subject would be present, seeing what is happening. And then after that, I organized now a capacity building program for my teachers.
While you are delving much into what you have been doing in the 4 years, I wanted us to first paint a picture of what you have you found academically.
25 first grades now had to be changed. I said these have to be changed using this intervention. And this intervention moved them to 37 first grades.
I will talk about finances. How was the school's finance management system? Did you find enough funds on the account? School fees?
And maybe on the other result thing, we moved now. Last year we had 69 first grades.
Of course. And that was
therefore, the trend is already, if we were this year having the same old curriculum, we would be moving to 100 first grades.
Oh, yeah.
The finances had a dilemma.
That's a huge one.
Had a dilemma, and somehow I almost got scared of how to begin to steer the great institution.
How big was it to the point that it scared you like that?
It was quite big because
you had the loans. I heard you had the loans close to $1 billion.
There were loans and creditors who had supplied and had not been paid, who were totaling to around 732 million. And then in the cash, in the cash, when I checked the cash that I would access on the account, there was 100,000 shillings.
We had some had been
And
freezed by the
then
car.
the cow had frozen 2 million because she was anticipating there would be maybe how long would the COVID go. She had frozen that. And therefore, when I looked at the frozen amount, the cash available, and the requisitions in the office were daily for cleaning for cutting the grass in the compound.
For food, for what?
Well, the students were off, but I had other staff, the support staff. The support staff, the water pipes are breaking every day. You need to replace them. The bush is up in the space. You have to cut it. Therefore, the death of staff members and the relatives were also up. Therefore, daily requisitions against 100,000 shillings. It was not easy.
So, but how did you maneuver then? Where did you get the finances to start with?
Now, there were 3 interventions. One intervention was to harness the agribusiness enterprise that I found my predecessor had started. The farm, the poultry, and the others. Therefore, we had to galvanize and improve that sector so that we sell our eggs, our milk, and start earning some little on a daily basis. That was one. 2 was to bring my physics department into the production of foot-operated hand-washing facilities. Because I'm also a physics man.
I am told you did PCM.
I did PEM at A level. Therefore, I'm also a physics man. I joined with teacher Bruce. We said, can't we be producers?
But I read the book which you co-authored with Mr. Nyang Charles at Chivan. That's a chemistry book.
Yes. Therefore, there are some of us who are multitasked with many gifts. Now, we started producing foot-operated hand-washing facilities because this was a requirement of the government as a standard operating procedure. We became suppliers here, my friend. Districts of Kamwenge, Bundubujo, Kasese,
started becoming
here to purchase. And that started earning us some money for survival. Then, when the government was about to release some students to come in, we saw that there was need for some reinforcement. We requested the bank to give us some overdraft of 100 million.
So the debt now increased to over 800 something million.
32 million. Therefore, that was now the starting point. Therefore, when the students came in, they first gave us senior 4 and senior 6 only. And senior 4 were 144. Senior 6 were 55 only. That was about 190 students in the school. That was not easy to manage with the teachers and with all the things. So by and by, with frugality of financial management, strict financial management system, we have signed and cleared all the debts, and we are now.
That's so terrific of you. So well, now that is the picture of what you found here. But now it's 4 years, stretching out the 5th year. So could you also paint for us a picture of how you're moving, especially academic-wise? How are you moving?
First of all,
you just told us it's been 69 first grades last year.
Yes.
It was 35, 37 the other
yes, and in the history of this school, 69 is the second highest in the 98 years this school has existed. 2, another interesting thing, all the 3 academic years I have run now, all the 4, have been unique in their own way.
What makes them unique?
The first year was automatic promotion. People were from COVID. No? The second year was relatively stable, but they were ending the old curriculum.
Okay.
And we were coming to the new curriculum. Therefore, still there was an automatic promotion behind it. And then finally, even the last year was the climax of the what? Of the old curriculum. Now this year is a new curriculum we are going to do. It has no past paper, it has no any previous exam. We don't know how people perform. But currently, what we have done as a school, the following are the interventions. One, the government gave us textbooks, but the ratio was not enough. It was about 1 to 5, 1 to 6.
What ratio do you want to have?
1 to 5. You find one textbook to 5 students. And yet, the new curriculum, there's no giving of notes. Students have to, after the lesson, have to go and research on their own. Now, 5 students competing for one book,
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make very good sense. That's what I did. I called my parents. I said, there is an issue here that needs an address. And I had designed a model. Therefore, we agreed that we procure enough books so that every child has a textbook.
In simple, you want a ratio of 1 to 1.
This is currently what is on now. From senior 1 to senior 4, the ratio is 1 to 1 for every lesson that you go to. That's when students come at the beginning of the term, they go in the library and sign for 12 books, 12 textbooks, equivalent
in each every subject.
Yes, yes. They stay with them for the whole term. There is no theft because every child has the same books. Now, they read. In every lesson you go to, you'll find a teacher there with the learners in groups. Each learner has a textbook. This has been a great milestone.
But you've also done something which is also tremendous, and I want you to also speak about it. The issue of meals for these students.
Then, before I take you to the meals, then my library is small. If I took you to my library, you'd see in a population of close to 1,200, I can only sit about 30 only. I said, what am I going to do to this library? I said, fine, I have increased the books. Students have the books wherever they are. But they need also to extend on the research. Therefore, I went to Uganda Communications Commission and said there is poor network in Nyakasura. How can I reinforce it? How can I reinforce a bandwidth in Nyakasura? They said the only thing is we can sell you a plot, which they call a code. They can code you to the nearest mast. And you pay for that plot.
Okay.
Therefore, they coded me to the mast of Kitwamba. Therefore, on the mast of Kitwamba with UCC, there is a plot we bought as Nyakasura School. Therefore, I have Wi-Fi even where we are here now.
So you're allowing students to come in with gadgets?
Now, what did I do? I allowed the students to bring laptops.
And phones?
And the tablets.
Not phones.
Therefore, these laptops, when they come, and tablets are registered in the ICT and in the Secretary's office. Then, evening after lessons at 3:30, all the students speak their gadgets. Those who have. Sit wherever they can. And research based on the questions they have been given by the teachers.
So how do you ensure that they are real indeed researching, not doing other things?
You know, first of all, they are in groups. Secondly, they have an activity. Thirdly, tomorrow they have present and answer. And thirdly, as it gets to darkness, they have to return them.
So they stay with the gadgets for around an hour or
an hour and a half. An hour and a half during broad daylight. And that's when they are scattered in the compound here. It is most unlikely that they will go into such a destructive thing.
You didn't put their teachers or staff members who can monitor the usage of...
Remember, the teachers are also available supervising these students. The teachers on duty, the subject teachers. These learners cannot do without consulting the teachers. This has also reinforced the library and information technology integration. This, I feel, is important.
So, still in the library, you didn't consider building a new library?
That takes time.
Okay.
That requires the resources.
This building is the first building Commander put.
Yes. Therefore, in 1 year, 2 years, I could not begin with that. I had to begin. I would not put my fingers into the hands and the chest and start lamenting. No, I had to look for soft components that could transform the system and we see operating as if we are global.
But you've talked about, in the documents you've authored before, you've talked about building a new storage classroom.
Now, before that storage building, now the next thing we did was during COVID, I operated online lessons.
Yes.
I was the only school in this Rwenzori region which operated online lessons. Therefore, all parents who had their children in Gayaza, wherever, they enrolled them in Nyakasura. And they subjected them to online. And they paid fees. That was another income that sustained me during COVID. Therefore, when this news is moving like wildfire, that the head teacher is new, but things are not static. Now, when they opened the school, I got overwhelming enrollment.
From 880 to
by 400 increment.
so now you have an enrollment of 1,200 plus.
Students. Yes.
That's tremendous.
Therefore, that was not a small one. And my senior one admission of 2022, my first senior one admission, I admitted from 190 students to 430.
I want to speak about the issue of the meals. You're talking about students and teachers eating the same meals.
Therefore,
what do you intend to achieve with that?
When I came here, I found two things also, which I felt I would not also work out with very well. One, as a stronger leader, of course, God gives us the energy not to be fear, not to be scared, but we have to be leaders of courage. I found something here called the black market.
They're around there, Apollo House there.
This black market was the delicacy of the community members.
Selling dodo.
Selling dodo and several things. In the girls, there was a good number. Here, there were a good number. In total, there were about 83 people who would vendor in food. At break time, they come in.
At lunchtime,
at lunchtime, they come in. Supper time, they come in. During lessons, they carry out. They carry things, you don't know where they keep them.
What even they carry itself?
You don't know what they carry. You don't know where they cook from. I felt, why does this happen? Then in the kitchen, when you go, there is a corner where they are cooking food for teachers. There is a corner where they are cooking the meals for students. When you go in the store, you find there is portion for students.
For teachers.
It has a different class. There is a portion for teachers, which is a different class. I say, is this going to remain like this? Then the girls coming here to eat, they come after they have gone through a lot of checkup. It is only the courageous girls who would walk down there to come and eat. Majority would eat junk food there. And what would happen? The sick bay was full of students every day. And they are crying. They are attacking me. Spirits are on me. I am fainting. I am what? I told these people, there is no fainting here. These girls are hungry.
They are sick.
They are hungry. I have been in a girls' school. These people need food. You give them food, the spirits will go. I am a priest. I am not going to
pray for
these ones. I am going to first give them the medication, which is food. They are hungry. Therefore, what I did immediately was to start transferring their food to them. I separated the dining. We started taking their food to their place. We created the dining.
Let me ask you something about
Yes.
that. These are students who study together, who live together, who are going to work together.
Yes.
Why not eat together in one dining hall?
I have already told you the problem. That I'm spending a lot of money on people who are collapsing every day.
So are you saying when they eat together, it's what causes them to collapse?
Absolutely. When they eat together, out of the 222 girls I found, only 80 would come to eat.
So why not encourage them to come and eat with their fellow students, which are boys?
It is very hard. They have to first bathe, they have to first smear, they have to first perfume, they have to first decorate the plates and put their appetizer 1, appetizer 2, fruit 3, and therefore they keep all the time calling their parents, send pocket money. And I saw this nonsense. He said, no, this is not going to remain.
So you eat alone in peace, the food you have.
One component only of eating is not going to separate this school. Because even if you go to King's College, the dining is one, but has a wing.
For girls
for
and
girls
boys.
and for boys. Go to Ndeje. Ndeje is also a mixed big school, 2,000 population. Go for eating, wing for girls, wing for boys. They don't sit together. These are some of the things they are looking at. Therefore, I have not yet reached there to have a wing here and a wing there, but in the direction I have it. You reach and see my girls how they are eating their food.
Comfortable in...
You see how the spirits disappear. You see how the collapsing disappeared. You see how my prayers have reduced. You see how going to hospital has also reduced.
So, I want to have to ask you something. You told us that there was an increment from 808 enrollment of students to 1,200. But I want also something increased. And that is the issue of school dues.
Yes.
School dues also increased from 770 to, 700,000 to 1.1.
Yes.
What is the justification for that?
You know, you could not provide better meals. You could not provide same meals with the teachers unless you have done that. You had to touch on the food. Otherwise, the quality of portion they were eating earlier was costing much less because it was poor quality. Now, to raise it to that of the teachers, you have to spend a little more. If I'm going to have textbooks of a ratio of 1:1, you have to increase some little money to have the books.
Including food itself, to improve food.
If I'm going to have, if you test our sauce, you'd think it is a hotel.
Shall we have lunch with you today?
It's okay. I had to go for morning break. The children are coming and taking on a cup of porridge just to push them from morning up to afternoon. And then you say, what is this? I said, no, let us give them an accompaniment. Now, when you add there an accompaniment, bread or egg or maize or donut, that is already entering into
This is happening at Nyakasura today.
This is happening at Nyakasura today.
And it never used to happen.
It never used to happen. And then you have also to touch on the teachers' welfare. I had also to reinforce the teachers' welfare by 40% increment. And the welfare I enhanced at that time, I found it was only being earned by the teaching staff. The group employees, the askaris who do a lot of donkey work, were not earning anything. They were all reinforced and put into the same category. Therefore, this expenditure required some enhancement from the parents. Therefore, having the internet, increasing book ratio, increasing the food, increasing teachers' welfare, needed some enhancement on food. On fees.
About the issue of the teachers, maybe if we can talk about it, you've just brought it in. What is the relationship between the staff members and their head teacher today at Nyakasura School?
At the moment, I think I have a very good relationship with my teachers. Us as born-again Christians, we speak the truth quite often to shame the devil.
Of course.
When I came, I found two factions
of
teachers. Glaring factions.
Did you try to understand what had brought them?
Which I don't want to divulge into now.
Of course.
But I want to clearly say there were two glaring factions. What I did now, I went through many meetings with every department. I took them out in hotels. I would take geography department in a hotel. We have tea, we have recreation, and we choose some money. Every department I did that to bond. After bonding, there were 4 who remained resistant.
Before you go there, the teachers you have today, are they free to interact with you, engage in constructive dialogue here and there?
You don't know what is here.
Have open disagreements on certain issues.
You don't know what is here.
And no victimization that can be there.
You don't know what is here.
I really don't know.
I would wish today I have a briefing with them at 1. If you stood maybe at the roof of that staff room and peeped through and see the atmosphere in my staff room, you would know Nyakasura has a stronger staff. Because we have increased even from 59 to 77 now.
Yes.
And we are a powerful staff.
They can come engage with you in this.
Very freely. We eat together, we chat together, we ride together, we do gym together. I put for them some gym facility around.
Can any teacher disagree with you on any matter?
Very, Very much. And this is my call every day. I call them, please, I have brought this idea. Can you give in your input? And they give in their input. I have a deputy in charge of administration. Go and meet my teachers.
Mr. Nyakasura.
Yes. I have my deputy in charge of academics. Go and meet my teachers. Speak out what they are saying. I have director of studies in lower school. Please meet them. They have all avenues to raise their concerns.
Well, there's been such things like salary enhancement, which you've talked about. The board, I heard that the board resolved to increase that enhancement, and it has not been effected for some time. What does that have?
That is not true. Because what the board approved, the 40% enhancement, was enhanced. Remember, these are my 2.5 years of service. When it approved the 40% enhancement, it was enhanced. When it approved some percentage last June, it was enhanced, has been enhanced. And it has proposed another enhancement next year. Therefore, there's nothing that the board has approved which has not been enhanced.
Let's go back to the 2 functions that you found.
Yes.
So how did you bring the 2 functions into one thing?
I told you I took every department out. Every department. This is math. We are going to hotel, Fort View, Nyaka, and we have some fun. We used to do 3 things. We would have fellowship. I would lead them in devotion. 2, we'd have a meal. We eat a nice meal. 3, harmonization. Bringing our hearts together. And vision sharing. And this was done through for 2 consecutive weeks. And after that, I merged them. I first held a meeting of the women alone. Then I held a meeting of the men alone. Then I held a meeting of all the 2. And I felt we were now ready.
4 teachers, like you said, remained.
Yes.
What happened to those 4?
These ones remained, and finally this matter reached the national level. And I think government, in their wisdom, felt they should serve elsewhere.
Is it the government or the head teacher who effected their transfers?
The head teacher cannot transfer.
Who pushed for their transfers?
The head teacher does not transfer.
He can't, but he can push.
No, the head teacher cannot push a system. The head teacher's role is supervisory and is informative. Therefore, my role is to report to my bosses that the situation at school is calm, but there are following areas which need improvement.
So was it a good thing for these teachers, especially these 4 teachers, I don't know that there are 4 or below or fewer than that, was it a good thing for them to continue earning government money when they are not being given load? Was it a good thing, managerial, at a management level or in a management understanding of issues? Was it a good thing to deny them load by the administration but keep them earning government money for nothing?
You know, you can't answer technical things directly when they are involving a procedure, because there is a disciplinary procedure. There is a due diligence procedure. Now, when the due diligence is at work, you cannot come in and pick one small thing and summarize the due diligence process. No. Due diligence is a process. Therefore, I cannot answer whether it was right or wrong when there was a process initiated and in the hands of the authority.
Which process was that? Disciplinary?
Yes, disciplinary process.
What exactly had they done?
I think there are things you don't.
Fort TV. Stay entertained.
Hello everyone, we are reaching out today asking for your support in raising funds to buy equipment for our media academy in Uganda. By donating to our cause, you'll be helping many young people to receive satisfactory training in media and journalism, empowering them to tell their stories. With your help, we can provide these young people with cameras, laptops, software editing, providing them with the tools they need to survive in the media industry. Your donation will make a tangible difference in the lives of these young people that take our academy and also bridge the digital divide in Uganda. Please consider donating today and joining our cause in creating the next generation of media makers in Uganda. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you.
Fort TV. Stay entertained.
I prefer to go and work.
And they were let to go.
And the request was granted.
Oh, yeah. About the issue of infrastructure development, the dormitories, you've talked about dormitories like Kasagama, Kobusa, which have been rehabilitated, but so many infrastructure around here remain in a dilapidated state. What are you doing about that? Are you really thinking about that? Millions have been spent on fencing around the school, which would have formed a better priority here.
You know, prioritization is also a very, very, very complicated thing. What brought the wall first? Were two things. One, on the 16th of July, 2022, I held a meeting here with the old boys of the school. And the old boys of the school, about 76 of them came, and Professor Edward Rugumayo was chairing the meeting. And we looked at how are we going to celebrate 100 years of the school. And we ranked priorities. We saw the enrollment has increased. Government has donated to us tents. You are going to find some UNICEF tents down there.
I saw some at the job day there.
Yes, we have about 3 of them. Therefore, we needed a bigger classroom block. The alumni said, we can take this up. Therefore, I developed BOQs, architectural drawings, and everything, and handed over to the alumni. The second one was, we need some improvement and uplifting of the dormitories. How do we do this? Let us use 2 methods. One, alumni arrange themselves in their house courts and come improve. Let us also go to the government and tell them this is an old traditional school. In the fund that is currently ongoing to rehabilitate all the schools, let Nyakasura benefit. That was strategy 2. Strategy 3 were, let the young alumni start football leagues so that they mobilize as many as they can. You know the law of large numbers. If there are many, they would also pick 1 or 2 things and they do.
I've been following the alumni league.
Then fourth, parents, what do they do? Let parents draw the security of the school. That was the resolution made on 26th of July, 2022, by the alumni in the meeting here. That is reason number 1. Now, reason number 2 are the ADF rebels who came and attacked in Kasese. And when they were in Kasese...
And ADF is not new in Kabarole.
Yes, it's not new.
That attacked Kichwamba.
Now, when they came in Kasese, the following day, we had information that they had seen rebels crossing the farm of Kanyamotonwa down there, entering Kanunapolo. And the others had seen them behind the Kanunapolo the other side. There was some fear. Then that same night, I heard at around 2 a.m. girls coming in my compound. Daddy, 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 daddy.
That's how they endearingly call you daddy.
That's how they call you. Daddy, daddy. What is it? They are all full in my compound. A rebel has come in our house. What has the rebel done? A man has come, has unaddressed one of the girls, and when the girl woke up, the rebel stood in the doorway and called, that you don't come today. Let us design another day. This girl seems to be awake. The girl seems to be awake, and they have alerted the
Where was the security of the school at that time?
But these are Batun men and whatever.
Queen of Sally.
These are Batun men. Even at 2 a.m. they have already found a safe.
They are snoring.
You can't rely on them so much.
Okay.
Therefore, what happens the following day? Everywhere parents were calling. Headmaster, do we come and take away our children? We seem they have been attacked. Even it seems they have been raped. And the following day, that same day evening, about 4 parents came to take away their girls, their children. They whisked them away. Now, when I saw this fear, I called the board. I think, let us, since it was a resolution here, it is a threat, girls are going home, enrollment is going to go down, and girls are a bit down near the swamp. Let us create a psychological and visible intervention. And we tried to use minimal costs to construct a very reliable construction.
This perimeter wall, is it going to go a long way in dealing with threats from outside?
It is going to deal with the following. Well, you know, the classes of these students are down, and the dorms are here. And the road connecting Kitesweka and Yvonde is just behind the dormitory. Just close to the dormitory.
The playground there.
Just close to the dormitory. Therefore, when they are there, thieves have been coming in and stealing all blankets and bed sheets and mattresses along the window. As a child comes from class to reach here, you know, urbanization now has reached Nyakasura very strong.
It's in the city.
It is in the city. We are in the city, Northern Division. Students come and find no blanket, no bed sheet, no mattress. Therefore, they cry, they come to me. I had an extent of even stocking my office with the blankets, bed sheets.
So that you can distribute them.
So that those whose have been stolen, I replace.
You can reimburse them.
How am I going to sustain that?
It's damn expensive.
Damn expensive. That one is going to be solved. Another thing it is going to solve is the temptation of sneaking in waragi and drugs. Because the proximity of the road with the boys, there is a temptation of sneaking out through the porous fence which has been there. This is going to be solved.
Won't they climb up and jump out?
Those will be daringly hard because it is an 11 feet high with a secondary on top. Therefore, a student who dares all of that will be quite unique.
Yeah, quite unique. And courageous.
And courageous. And then theft levels will reduce. And me, I think, when that happened, by the way, in the girls' way, after the construction of the girls' perimeter wall, last time we experienced a very interesting scenario. In all classes apart from one senior 5, all classes were defeated by girls.
Well, you seem not to have in your program anything to do with the dilapidated
now
hostels of students.
When I came here,
especially Apollo.
When I came here, the first thing I did, you could not sleep in Kasagama.
Or even Komuiso house.
Kasagama. Kasagama was in a bad state. Therefore, we repaired the upper wing and the middle wing and worked on the leakages and the bathrooms. The lower wing was not so bad off, we remained. Then we came to Apollo, which was leaking profusely. We removed the whole roof and put a new roof. There was a problem of water here. That water tank would fill in 8 hours a day. And using my physics of differentiation and integration, I discovered that the problem here was the volume and the time. I wanted that tanker to fill in 1 hour. To do that, I had to increase the volume size. Therefore, by differentiation, the rate of change gave me that. Now, that value had now to push me to overhaul the whole piping system. I found the pipe which was supplying the tank was a 33 to 25 millimeter pipe. We had to upgrade it to an 80 to 55 millimeter pipe. That was a big project also. Now that tank is 24/7 water. And that water was coming direct from the swamp to the pump, to the tank, and to the students, direct and treated. Typhoid levels were. I went to national water. There's a treatment unit in that tank. Therefore, the water from there to every stuff here is treated.
Are students getting water for drinking and for other things 24/7 here?
24/7 water is treated. You can go to the dining, you will see it. You can go to the dining of the girls, you will see it. Water is available.
If a student wants to bathe at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, can they access water?
Very well, very well. Water is available everywhere. You go and touch all the taps everywhere. There's water.
I only want to tackle you on the issue of the OBs.
Yes.
You and the OBs.
Yes.
Where do you stand? What is the relationship between you and the OBs?
The obese, it is also skewed. It is also skewed.
What's skewing this issue?
Because from 20, my coming in Nyakasura school, the obese played 99%.
That's true.
For
Thank you for acknowledging that.
For me to come to Nyakasura school.
It was a resolve and
It was a resolve
and efforts of the OBs.
of the obese for me to come here.
You appreciate the love they had for you.
And up to today,
That's so good.
I cannot forget that. Then two, sustaining me here in the COVID and after COVID obese. Then relationship-wise, majority, I can say at the moment, the percentage has reduced from 99 to 97. 97% of the obese are very supportive of what I'm doing. But 3% has been preached the false gospel.
You are an Anglican priest, and I know you emulate Jesus Christ, who had to leave the 99 sheep of his secured and had to go after that one sheep which had gone missing.
Yes.
I know you're concerned about the 3%.
Very.
What brings the percentage down from 99 to 97?
Something happened which I may not disclose here, but it was trivial, but it has gone viral. And it was typically a personal issue, but which has gone into institution, because it was related to work here.
Because I read a certain document which you wrote yourself.
Yes.
You uploaded OBs, Kasaija, is it Chris Kasaija in the
Yes.
US? You uploaded OBs like Amangira Julius Rujumba
Yes.
for taking you through the history of the school.
Absolutely.
But later on in the same document,
Yes.
you mentioned that these young OBs
Yes.
have also turned away
And it is this young man, Rujumba,
Julius.
this young son.
When you
of
mentioned the name Rujumba, you seem like calling me and
yes, this my young man Rujumba, whom I wedded, whom I counseled, whom I stood with, whom I still love actually. Up to today, no matter all the abuses, I still love him so much because I know he's still a young man. And what he's going through, abusing an elder, he will also go through it. I'm very sure about that. But I have not hated him. He preached some falsehood to Dr. Kasaija. Dr. Kasaija believed it, he never verified it. And he has got now a platform of going social. And he has converted some few souls. Few souls, I want to tell you. But majority of the solid alumni are here.
They talked about an issue
And
of
recently, I have done two things, which I don't want now to go back so much into the past. I have done recently, I sent a message of reconciliation and forgiving everybody and clearing my heart. And today, I sent them a prayer of deliverance, a prayer of comfort, a prayer of peace, a prayer of healing, a prayer of rejuvenation. And I want to live by those. Now, if I don't want to go much into whether I still have any enmity with the enemy. In my heart, I feel I have no enmity with any one of them.
This one I've not gotten from Rujumba, but I hope if I get a chance, I will tackle him. The issue of OB's funds. Have OBs contributed any funds to this school through you? And how has been the management of those funds?
This was the ridiculous kind source of trouble, which I said, you are doing me bad to take me to things which I have.
Just a small clarification.
But a small
because
clarification.
they will put them on you if you don't clarify
Yes,
it.
but the clarity of this money, the money I have received here from OBs is 9.6 million.
9.6 million, not 10.
9.6 million on the school account, Stanbic Bank, from one OB, Fenvirum, to renovate.
Was it appropriated?
Now, when he comes, he finds Komwiswa in a sorry state. He finds Komwiswa in a sorry state. The bathrooms were completely rotten. Waterlogging, that was the boss from the ministry.
Oh yeah.
Waterlogging in the dormitory, and one side of the veranda, one side of the building, of the veranda, was starting to downward. Now, he did not tell me what I should use this money for.
It was you to look at what to
He
do.
had not said he was going to complete the whole house. He said, I have come, but I have managed to raise some money. You see what to do. There is a lot of good correspondence on the platform with them. Now, I sit with the management. I say, what do we do on Congress? The bathrooms cannot be worked out alone without the veranda. Therefore, let us now combine the bathrooms and the veranda. Working on that veranda alone of Komiswa required over 15 million. The bathrooms
Yet you had 9.6.
Yes, I had 9.6. The bathrooms alone required about 14 million. Therefore, what we did now, we had to do it. I requested the board to allocate some renovation fund from the school without any hope that FEN is bringing more money. The BOQs were prepared, the requisitions were made, the local purchase orders were made to work on the bathrooms and on the veranda, which cost around 19.5 million. That is on record.
You have the accountability.
This accountability was sent to FEN Virungi.
She has it.
He has it. This accountability is in the books of accounts. The requisitions are in the books of accounts. The local purchase order is in the books of accounts. The auditors have looked at the books of accounts. Now,
is this where your point of departure with Julius Rejumba emanates from? Is this where it emanates from?
It emanates from something I will not talk about here, but it is more personal.
Okay.
It is more personal that he started now whistleblowing and unnecessary thing. Now, when they come, they find the bathrooms are made, the veranda is made. And when they came, they said, we need to remove wooden doors and put aluminium doors. Now, aluminium doors are more expensive than wooden doors. But I say, before you remove the work I have done, you engineer first cost it. How much work is this that has been done? The engineer wrote a report. In my estimation, I feel the work which has been done is equivalent to this amount of money. I have the report of the engineer before starting to renovate. The report of the engineer is estimating more money than even I use it. The engineer who was brought by family room. Therefore, when a person comes and says, Reverend Balinda has eaten Obi's money, when Reverend Balinda is managing a 4 billion budget and has received 9.6 and used 19.5, and you have not come to talk to Reverend Balinda, but you go on social media, it only takes me to be a priest, not to face you face to face.
Okay. No, but I know, and I'm sure about it. You will not face anyone face to face. You are a man who has a lot of dignity. But while you've continued to discuss OBs more, you've made comments about how they're organizing this gala. you seem to have wanted them to organize it in a different way.
Yes.
You seem to suggest the way they have organized this gala is not going to make them achieve their target.
I made that comment very clear, and it is on record.
What did you mean by
Yes, I made it. It is on record.
Throw more light.
And I will continue making it.
Throw more light on that.
Yes, because me, I'm not an OB here.
Of course, you are no of St. Lewis.
Yes, there are some things that I don't know. Okay. But I am a researcher. I'm an academic. I investigate. I make informed decisions. When my boys accepted to make a gala, they first came here. I welcomed them, gave them a warm hospitality. But then heard they were going to play. They had named their groups, their football groups, into names like
Classes.
Not classes, some jargons they used to do. Panyunye, Nkaito,
Engogo.
Engogo to me is fair because I see Kagogo being played here.
You also played Kagogo as a child.
Yes, Engogo Engogo would be something good. But then when I asked, what does Banyunye mean? I got a different finding. Nkaito got a finding. Biaro, different finding. Kariango, different finding. Manyindo. Then when they brought Manyindo now,
Rugumai FC.
Rugumayo came later. Manyindo. Then now other people started coming in to say, do we also form Kantu FC, Nyahanje FC? Then those who had completed my year, my students who had completed, they said now we are also forming Balinda. I said,
don't do it.
Don't do it to my boy.
You wanted to be out of that.
Don't do Balinda because now this direction is already misleading direction. I told the boys bluntly, as your head teacher, form clubs basing on your houses.
Dormitories.
Form Cooper. There are many old boys in the whole world who will hear Cooper and come and support.
But indeed, when you look at it, boys seem to be, or even girls, or all OBs and OGs, could be more attracted to their houses more than these other things.
Nkaito was there in whose regime? Nkaito was a slogan used in a certain headmaster's regime.
If you look at Professor Gumai, you may not know what Nkaito
He doesn't know.
And he's an OB.
He doesn't know.
But he slept in Kasagam.
He slept in Kasagam. Therefore, during Kitara, that's where most of those jargons came. But those who were there during Rusokes and the others, they don't know this is jargon. That's why I said, why don't you use jargon? That will bring people on board. Damalebalia, form that. Damalebalia. Because the other time, every girl's dormitory was coined to a boy's dormitory.
Like Balia House and Annette Bacha.
Why don't you form such?
Damali and Apple.
Such.
Kasagam and John Parent.
This was my professional guidance. But the boys seemed to say, you are not an OB, you don't know what you are talking about. I have kept quiet. But when they are playing, you don't know who is watching. You can't send on the social media and the people of Badia come to watch. They don't know what is Ngogo meaning.
They don't know what Nkaito is.
They don't know what is Biaro is doing. Therefore, up to today, I am advising the onlookers, the observers, my dear beloved alumni. You are going to use Biaro and Ngogo
Nkaito
to bring them to your houses. Those houses will build your people. That has been my basis.
Are they trying to come to your lane of thinking, or they are still hesitant?
Some are coming to my lane of thinking. They are saying, if they become many in their jargons, then they will go to their houses. Okay? And to me, I've said that's okay. The other day when they came, I received them well. I roasted for them a bull. I gave them good hospitality.
So what majorly are you looking at to bring the entire alumni fraternity into on your side? Because you said you need them and you like them so much. What are you doing to the 3%, the Rujumba part of the group?
We are all together. Many stakeholders are up in arms, by the way, because this issue has reached far. It has entered government. It has entered parents.
The issue of the OBs?
The issue of the 3% has entered government. I'm telling you, I want to go and see my supervisor. That is one of the reasons. Has entered government. has entered parents, has entered board, has entered PTA, has entered all the OBs, has entered my OBs also myself. I also have OBs, has entered my family, has entered the students here, has entered the teachers.
It's eating the institution altogether.
It may not be eating, but it is raising the institution to be aware. Therefore, it has to be handled very carefully. That is the comment I have to give.
Is that the reason as to why there was a looming transfer of the head teacher here recently?
Yes, the looming transfer was available. I can go. Huh? But what I have told you, the issue is no longer 3%. The issue now is national.
The issue is national.
Yes.
Abul, there is
but the hope I have, the OBs who are raising some concerns, I have known what is their concern. Their concern is not per se hating me as a person. They are hating a few things
that are going on here.
And they are looking for a way of streamlining them. And I think they are not many.
You're so accommodative. You even want to engage with them.
Yes, we are arranging to meet them and harmonize with them, and not steer our house apart.
So generally, you're saying the financial management system of this institution is straight and there is no anything.
I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but I want to allude you to some judgments. First of all,
audited by the Auditor General.
The Auditor General has audited 3 times. The internal auditors have audited. The recent Directorate of Education Standards Agency 2024 report January listed Nyakasura School among schools to benchmark on better financial management systems. It is on record.
I want to speak about the celebrations that are coming up 2 years from now, celebrating 100 years of the school. What's going on? What are the preparations like? How are they going on as we come?
Actually, the noise we are in, with my OBs is a precursor to the celebrations. Is a kasiki. Me, the way I look at it.
Is that how it's supposed to be celebrated?
No, after this, the anger will turn into joy. You know, Paul was Saul. And Saul was a man who was moving with a matchbox, with a panga, with a spear to persecute the Christians.
If there was a gun, you'd have moved with one.
Yes. But the day he met Christ, he turned the anger into a preacher. Now this noise, the day it will transform into happiness, you will see the fire that will be here.
You've not told us what is going on in terms of preparation. Where is it going to be celebrated from?
It will be here, it will be here, and it will be so.
Are committees already in place?
Committees are in place, arrangements are going on, people are coming. On 27th of this month, I'm hosting a cohort of very high profile OBs.
Of Nyakasura School.
I'm hosting them here. I'm going to have a chat with them, maybe a press conference if need be, and all these are going on.
By the way, this interview was addressing one of the key things you talked about in your recent State of the School address.
Yes.
You talked about a press conference.
Yes.
When I read the document, I felt like we can come here and have this interview.
Absolutely. Therefore, the press conference is necessary. Me, I feel currently the parents of the school are very, very, very supportive of Balinda. The government, all sectors of government, all sectors.
Has the date been selected yet for the celebrations?
Yes, it will be 26th of March 2026.
Okay. Abul, as we come to the end of this show, I wanted you to talk about, briefly, the issue of the new curriculum, how the school is moving and how it's coping with it. There was a debate this year, at the start of this year, as to whether these students should go and join HSC, or those who fail, what are they going to do? How is the school moving? How are you coping with the new curriculum? Are you having the teachers to deal with all?
I think with the new curriculum, we are just waiting to be assessed to see whether we are on the right track or not. But we have done everything possible within our means.
Are you offering all the faculties?
Yes.
Hairdressing, bakery?
Well, we may not be offering all the faculties. No, we selected some. Because we have physical education, clubs and games, we have 22 of them. We have agribusiness club, cattle, goats, piggery, poultry, and banana plantation, greenhouse, vegetables, green growing. All those have cohorts. We have other innovations, greening the environment. If I took you behind there and you saw our orchard that is growing up, it is also a beautiful intervention. That for me, I feel the work we have done in terms of curriculum delivery, continuous professional development, every term 3 workshops for the teachers to increase their efficacy and efficiency. The several workshops we have attended, the several interventions by government, the dummy questions and the workshops we have entered, we are waiting to see the assessment. And then we see whether we are on the right track. But I feel if I showed you my inspection report of 25th June 2024, 25th June 2024, by National Curriculum Development Officer on the implementation of the new curriculum at Nyakasura School, you would be impressed.
Where do you attribute this success in implementation of this curriculum to?
My great resolve with my teachers. Because here the lead trainer is me. Of all workshops here, the lead trainer is me. Plus my other national trainers. Therefore, I teach myself. When you called me in the morning, I told you I was in class teaching.
Yes.
And I was teaching senior 4.
Every time I call you, tell me you're teaching.
I am in class teaching. I teach mathematics. Therefore, when you see the head teacher is a trainer, the head teacher is in the class teaching, the head teacher is in the workshop, then know that the others now have a basis to say
have to follow
that
suit.
we are, the head teacher is speaking a language, we are speaking together. Therefore, my teachers are with me.
Paint for us a picture of what we should expect Nyakasura School to be in the next 3 years.
Knows all of us. Bless all the viewers and you, Fort TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been nice having you on this show. We've been with Mr. Valinda Richardson Aboli. One time when I met him, he told me he is a leader, he is a husband, he is a father, and he is a priest. He told me it's a cocktail of 4 in 1, and people have